So for my product and the final project, the one that I wanted to kind of create was this product that really had to do with stats and sports. Um, I wanted to use kind of the rise of all this technological stuff, I guess, in the recent years. Mobile technology has been coming up, and now phones are used in many ways, and apps are now a big thing that we consumers use. And so, me being a big stats guy, I love sports and I love following stats after games, before games even. And also wanted to kind of take into account the rise of fantasy sports, fantasy football, fantasy baseball, all this is kind of really been brought up to the forefront the last couple of years, and fans and just numbers are watched differently now, and that makes games being watched differently something that's really coming up. And as you see in my picture, I took a picture kind of like a little notebook to take kind of what was old fashioned. I remember uh, stats being something that you can use to write down. Nowadays, it's all is done really by computer. So, kind of like to point out how it used to be, the past, put a little notepad there, but the future will be kind of like the internet and your phone using your apps, and what fans do to look up all these stats over the internet. Uh, those are kind of like the media platforms that I really want to take advantage of with this product. Is really going online, look up all your numbers, and then obviously through the app that will kind of be kind of like a stats app, I guess, kind of like an interesting name to put to it. Just look up anything, past or present. That's the great thing about it. You can go back to something that happened in the past, and just by pressing a little button, look up a player, look up a team, look up a stat you want, a home run, for example, or how many points this guy made in a basketball game, for example. It can be many things, and it can really break it down. That's what I really wanted to try to do. Take stats from what it came before, where you go to a game, and I remember having to write down, the first inning, and this happened, and the ground out to third, or what ground or fly out, anything, and then kind of taking it to the next level with kind of like forming a new thing with the recent rise in mobile technology, and make the app kind of like, you know combine that with sports and the media platforms that will touch. Again, you can just look this up in internet. That's kind of what I wanted to point out in my picture, and of course through your phone. There's a lot of ways that this can gain profit for you. I mean, of course, you have to advertise. There's a lot of things that happens nowadays for things online, and by making deals with the leagues. I mean, the leagues you're gonna need to, of course, you're using their content, using their players. So of course, this is we're gonna have to. It's gonna be an interesting way to make profit from this, but kind of do the same thing you do with fantasy football. The NFL has a fantasy football that fans pay for, subscribe. So that's by subscribing to these, you might be able to make a profit. So it'll be interesting to see, something that I really think I would definitely use, just being a big stats guy and watching games differently nowadays. Stats, the way people watch games now, watching for numbers and how many yards that quarterback threw, really has changed the way we watch games. The how easy and how easily accessible they are nowadays is also really important. So this is a way to kind of bring all that together and take fantasy sports to kind of like another level. It's something that I would really like to see done, and I think I really like that idea.